I'm Colonel Failure, and this is my prison. The inmates are currently getting themselves some food in that way that they're supposed to do. So I figured we'd start out today by having a quick look at who we've got here. So we got Burgess. He's got 3 years for driving under the influence. Okay. Well, he pled not guilty, so mind you, before then he has been convicted of 5 years for torture, and a previous sentence of driving under the influence of 3 years. So he's a serial offender. We'll keep an eye on him. Mr. Imre, here he's in minimum security, 1 year for dangerous driving, but prior to that he's done death by dangerous driving 13 years. You'd think people would learn. Yes. Who else have we got here? Of course I can't see because none of my guards... or you. Get in here. Keep an eye on these miscreants, will you? Mr. Waterhouse. 7 years for false imprisonment and another 7 years for false imprisonment and 13 years for trafficking. He's going to be with me for a while. Anyway, last time around we built our storage area. We got basic power up and running. Showers there, yards over here. In fact, I need to put something in the yard to actually keep them. I don't want to keep them amused so much as to actually just make some use out of having a yard. And we'll give them a couple of phone booths. That should do the trick. And yeah, where I'm aiming for today is I can take on another. No. What I'm after is another grant. So we completed our first one last time out, which is good. We finished the basic detention centre. This time around, we got to the administration centre to work on, and also I want to take on cell block A, which we can do after I've got finance. So let's get some offices built, shall we? I don't like the fact that I'm banging people up in a holding cell right now, so I am going to build a cell block of sorts. Just a quick one. In fact, this calls for let's pause it up and let's get the planning on the go. Now I only have a plan where I'm sticking walls because everything else is relatively self-explanatory. All right, I'm going to go like that and one of those. Is that right, or is it one more? I'm trying to remember what the minimum size for a cell is, and I think the interior is 3 by 2. So, yeah, pretty standard design. I'll do something a little bit more flamboyant when we're onto our second prison. When we start thinking Supermax, I'll do something a little bit more non-traditional. We are going to want solitary relatively quickly. If there's one thing I know about this game is that prisoners tend to get into a spot of bother quite quickly. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8. Okay, well, I've got 8 in already. I've got another 7 turning up in a mo. So this'll probably do the trick, I imagine. What do we need here? One there. No, see, that's not going to be big enough. You're going to have to build up to this wall. Okay, well, we can do that. And then I'm going to have to do some kind of workaround. Yeah, you've not properly thought this through, man. Something like that, like this. And as mentioned in the last episode, I absolutely love this kind of sketch out tool that they give you, the blueprint maker. It's the most helpful thing in the whole game. Actually, and then we can put solitary in there. Actually, that's worked out quite nicely. So I've got 2 solitary cells there. No, don't need that far. Didn't need that. And this. We are kind of going double thickness with the walls. But that's okay. Actually, I meant to put in something in there to actually let people in the first place. Oh well. Right, and then that goes like that. Does it? Really? That doesn't seem right to me. It's because it's not right. That's why it doesn't seem right to you. You know, plop that in there, stick that there, another wall, another one of those. And I've even done it in an asymmetrical fashion so that, you know, people have got a little bit of privacy. So let's get the foundations in. And that, and that, and this. What? Get rid of that one. Stick that. No, I see it's treated it as separate buildings. Alright. Let's get rid of all of that and try it again. Right, so let's do that. No, that cancelled the whole thing. Well, how do you do a weirdly shaped building then? Hold shift down? Interesting. It would be useful to be able to build a building that isn't just a rectangle. Although maybe if I'll do this as 3 rectangles and we'll see how we go. Right. Yeah, that'll do for now. Anything else I need to be? No, that's okay. We've got 15 hours until the next bunch of prisoners arrives. I'm not convinced we'll have that completely ready by the time they turn up, which means that the whole place could be quite friendly for a little while, with a lot of people sharing a holding cell and no real facilities in there to properly guard them. But hey, they're prisoners, you know. They've done the time. No, they've done the crime. That's the one they've done, and now they're doing the time, or something along those lines. Anyway. Okay, so they're building 3 separate buildings here. I don't think this is going to work. I think I'm going to have to do something complex. If you know how to build a room that is not, that's not what, that's an irregular shape, that's not just a rectangle, do please let me know. That would be most welcome. I approve of the fact that these chaps are moving up this this section of the prison without too much complaint, going straight back to the holding cell. Although, frankly, I could do with a guard actually kind of standing guard. There you go. Yes, that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah, they're going to get unhappy pretty soonish, I would have thought. Right, so let's get our door on there, and all being well, I'll then be able to turn this into one big thing. Although I suspect what's more likely to happen is that this will be one room, that'll be one room, that'll be another one, which means my fabulously well thought out blueprint is going to be for naught. We shall see. Let's have a look here. Okay, well, that's a room, so here we go. These are going to be cells. Ah, no, the individual Watsits are cells, aren't they? I have to put the walls in on themselves. Right, okay, fine, we can do that. Does that seem? Yes, it does seem right. And it's done it already. Okay, yes, it recognised that was all one room, so it's done that. Let's open this door. And then let's get some hot wall action up in here. Do we actually need to put that wall? Yes, I don't want them digging through to the kitchen. So as much as that's excessive, I'm going to do it anyway. Go on, chaps. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can move people out of the fresh intake. So we've got 11 hours left until the new influx turn up and begin their new lives in the orange of Uncle Failure's state rehabilitation centre. Alright, think you're tunnelling out of there. Well, you're not tunnelling through the wall. We've made that tricky. Right, let's get... do we want to run a large pipe in there? I think we're going to have to. We'll run a large pipe up to the centre. So, another thing that is worth your consideration at this particular point is don't put the... you might be tempted to put doors on these things relatively quickly. Don't. Save the doors till last, or you will regret it. Trust me on this. Yeah, no, that's right, that's right. Yeah, you're getting this right. There we go. Yes, because if you put the doors on too early, you end up locking your workmen in, and that doesn't help you get it done quickly. Next job, beds. Beds. Another relatively straightforward process. Is that all of them? That's all of them. Right, I think I need some power. And we're going to need some lightweight pipe here, which we can just run through. Okay, lots of goodness for the work chaps to do, but they should get that sorted fairly quickly, I would have thought. And also, I'm going to get that. I'm going to buy myself another guard. I'm not happy with just having 2 guards. I'm going to add another. We need a staff room. Flipping heck. All right, well we'll stick that down here next to the this would seem to be a sensible place for it. Actually, no, we'll stick it here. There you go. My staff don't need that much space to relax in, after all. There are, chaps. You can go in there, and after that, you can fill your boots. To be honest, I don't want you taking that much time off anyway. Come on, folks, get a wriggle on. I hope my prisoners are all still in the holding cell. That's, you know, that's worth consideration. But come on, we've got 4 hours. I would like to be able to put 1 prisoner in a cell before that point. Have we even put beds in all these yet? In fact, I've got to declare these as cells. So that's holding cells. These are regular cells. So that's a cell, as is this, and that. There we go. And obviously these are all going to fail at being cells up until I actually, you know, go the whole hog and put a door on them. And then solitary, we've got 2 solitary. Oh, I've even got overboard on solitary by giving them, you know, mod cons, but let's queue those 2 up. That way we can put people who, you know, who really don't deserve to be treated well. We can stick them in a properly nasty cell, because, you know, that's the kind of thing that you do to rehabilitate people. Lock them up. Come on, workmen, work faster. After what I'm sure was a pretty miserable night in the holding cell there, those chaps are going to be pretty miserable relatively soon. When this new... the thing that catches... well, certainly caught me out when I first started playing is I didn't realise that I could turn my my prison incoming folk off. Does that make sense? Incoming prisoner intake. I could turn my prisoner intake off. That's actually kind of a big deal. To not have prisoners turning up is kind of important when you're full. Otherwise, it will, much like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, continue to bring prisoners until you tell it otherwise. There we go. Let's get doors queued up at least. Alright, and that, I mean, this will be, you know, a positive thing. Prisoners actually like having their own cells. And here come the next bunch. And with a bit of luck, the workmen will have finished the task of putting this stuff together by the time these chaps are ready for beddy buys. Let's open that. Let's open this. Unless there's a guard going to actually, you know, hang around and make sure that this is working properly. Yes, here we go. See, look, they're moving in, and there's bits of electrical cable. There's probably some tools in some of them as well. None of this is helpful. That's the other reason you wait until last thing before... Which bit of piping are you waiting for there? Why have we not got a water connection? Possibly because I haven't hooked it up. That would do it. We'll put one there and we'll stick another one at this end. And another one up here. And that should do it. And actually, we'll do this as well. I've not yet seen a prisoner escape through a small pipe. I've seen them try it through a larger one, but not through a small one. Right, let's lock that again. Normal, thank you. And you. And you. Obviously, the prisoners selecting the come and go as you please cells there to start with. No, we're not going to stand by that. Let them back out again. Come on, you idiots. Unless you want to live here full time. Good, right, so I need to turn the prisoner intake off. None. Thank you. I am oversubscribed by one prisoner at the moment. How annoying. What have we got? 15, and apparently I've got 14 cells? I've got a cell that's not yet done. What did it say? 8 across the top, and then we've got 6. Ah, yeah, okay. I am short to the tune of 1 cell. So one person gets the whole of the whole of the holding area to themselves, which I'm sure they will find delightful. Oh, I hadn't really intended this to become all one room. Interesting. In fact, I didn't even declare this room at the bottom here to be a... I don't need to. Alright, fair enough. I'm going to stick a wall in here because that's the sort of thing that people find useful in keeping criminal behaviour separated from the rest of your goings on. And then I'm going to need to stick a door in here somewhere. Where are we? Let's make it a... Should we make it a staff door? Yeah, let's put a staff door on there. And then we can dedicate this middle one as the staff room, and everybody will be happy. Or else. Staff room. Where is it? No. Staff room. There we go. Losing my mind. Right, and in the staff room, what does it need? It needs a wide sofa and a drinks machine. Alright, well, I think we can cope with that. I'll go one further, and I'll even give them a telly. It's the kind of benevolent employer that I am. Wide sofa. There we go. Let's go the whole hog. Let's give them a couple of sofas. I want my staff to be able to chill after a hard day of rehabilitation. Television. Anywhere? I must be able to see it. I could have a radio. I don't really want to give them a radio. It's a little too much. What's going on? There it is. Look. There you are. Stick it in there. That'll do. Magic. Good. Now my staff can be happy and joyful. Okay, splendid. Right, so what else do we need to do? So I do need to extend my... we've got some families waiting to visit. Well, they're out of luck. I haven't got a visitation room yet. I need a cleaner, need an accountant. I need to get my admin centre up, and then we can start to get things rolling. I still need one more cell. I mean, I could turn one of these solitary units into another cell. I don't really want to. That seems a bit cruel and unusual. But I want to get some bureaucracy stuff up fairly quickly so that I can budget the time of my my guards more effectively, or at least put them on patrol somewhere. Anyway, that will happen next time. Thanks very much for watching this time. We're going to pick up the pace a little with these, keep them trundling along. Your tips and suggestions are very much welcomed. So leave a comment. Chuck us a like if you enjoyed this one, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.
Listen.